Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles. In the month of October, I'm going to be uploading two videos every day, one that's going to be very easy to easy difficulty level, and one that's average hard or very hard difficulty level. And this is today's hard level difficulty puzzle. And it's called Medley by Playmaker6174. And here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 in every row, every column, and every box. Digits along an arrow sum to the digit in the circle cell attached to that arrow. So that means if this was, say, okay, let's do this one. Say this was a 2 and a 4. This would have to be 6 because some of the arrows add up to what's in the circle. And it's the same for each arrow. Two digits connected by a V sum to 5, while two digits connected by an X sum to 10. Excuse me. Not all V's and X's are given. So, for example, if this was a 3, this would have to be a 2, because it has to add up to 5. If this is a 6, this would have to be a 4, because it would have to add up to 10. And this is only positive information. There are no negative constraints. So basically, any other two cells could also add up to 5 and 10. We just know that these have to add up to 10, and these have to add up to 5. Okay, along a pink line, digits form a set of non-repeating consecutive digits that can be in any order. So these are red band lines, which means it's like, so for example, if this was a 1, we know there would have to be a 2, a 3, and a 4 also somewhere on the line. It has to be non-repeating, remember, so it cannot have another 1 on it. And it has to be consecutive. Along a green line, two adjacent digits have a difference of at least 5. So we call these German whisper lines. So for example, if this was, say, a 9, this would have to be a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4, because it has to be a difference of at least 5 on the German whisper lines. Along an orange line, two adjacent digits have the difference of at least 4. So these we usually call Dutch whisper lines. I'm not sure where the naming conventions came from, but that's what the naming conventions are. So, for example, if this was a 9, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so important thing to know about German whisper lines is there can never be a 5 on the German whisper line. And on a Dutch whisper line, if there is a 5, which there has to be because in this box, where does the 5 go? It can't go on the German whisper lines, it has to go on the Dutch whisper line. So on a Dutch whisper line, the 5 always has to be next to a 1 or a 9, right? Because it has to be 4 away. And since it's I guess the 5 could be yeah, the 5 does not necessarily have to be on this line. But the thing is okay, so we have high and low values on German whisper lines. That's how I like to divide it up. If, say, there were 4 high values, where we would know that there's 2 low values, and that therefore there would have to be 2 low values here. And the low values are 1 through 4. But the problem is 5 can only be next to 1, so it cannot be next to both of those. And then a low value can't be next to a low value on a Dutch whisper line. So then that doesn't work. And the same thing if we tried making this 4 high numbers, right? So therefore we know one of these is two highs and 1 low, and the other one is 2 lows and 1 high. So therefore we have a high and a low on both of these. This has to be between a high and a low. Therefore, the only one that's close, I guess, no, actually, that's not true. I was thinking that it had to be 1, 5, and 9, but it's actually not true. The 5 could be on the corner, and you could have a low and a high, and that would work, right? So we do know that there's one low and one high here. We just don't know which, and we don't know where it is. There's a 5 somewhere along here. In addition, this has to be a high because it's adding up to 3 numbers, and the minimum would be 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6. So this is 1 through 6. This has to be 6 through 9. The 5 cannot, so this cannot be 5 because it has to add up to 10. And you would only have 5 plus 5, which is not possible in Sudoku. So because of that, this cannot be. So whatever color this is, so say this is either high or low. So we'll just make it yellow. These correspond to the opposite, or it's 5. We don't know which. So these are opposite or 5. Or both. It could be both the opposite. We don't know which. This must be 3 or more. We don't know what. This has a mix of. Okay, so whatever this is the opposite. As is this. So I guess we'll make that green. This has to be the opposite. This also has to be the opposite. Okay, so this has 4 digits that are less than it. So this has to be 5 or more. This we don't know. This we don't know. We know this is 1 through 4. So these are both low. One of these is low, one of these is high. So there's at most one other low one here in row 4. So if this was low, this would have to be high with it, which would mean the 5. Okay, so actually one thing we know is this cannot be 5. Hmm. This has to equal at least 5. Because since this adds up to 5, this can be at minimum 5 also, right? Because you have 10 at most, or 10 at least. So the 10 is the least value you could have in these 4 cells. And we know this is 5. So that means the 5 is the least we can have in this 4 cells. So this has to be at least 5. It's on a German whisper line, so 5 can never be there. So we know this is high. This has to be low. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So because of this, I guess it could be 5. Yeah, we don't know. I got a message. This could be low. In fact, it's likely low. One of these at least is low. One of these at least is low. Same here. One of these is at least is low. One of these at least is low. Interesting. Okay. This again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 4 and 6 cannot be here. We know 4 and 6 are somewhere along these. Oh. No, it's not the case. We don't know 4 and 6 are there. In fact, we have. Okay. So this cannot be 5, 1, and 9. We know that for certain because if this is 5, this has to be 1 and 9 around it. But 4 and 6 have to be then on a German whisper line. And anytime you have a 4 and 6 on a German whisper line, it can only be next to one unique digit, which is 1 or 9 or 1, respectively. So therefore, this cannot be 159. So the 5 can never be in the middle. The 5 is always on the outside. And it's next to a 1 or a 9. So this is 1 or 9. We don't know which. And the other one has to be 4 or 6. Right? Uh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. So this, okay, so then this has to be, well, we don't know. Right, so this has to be 491 or 615 in some order. If this is 615, then this has to be 234 and this is 9, right? So this would be 234. This would be 9. This would be 7 and 8. If this is 495, it cannot be 134 anymore, so it can't be 8. It can't be 124, so it can't be 7. It's 49. It can't be 9, so it has to be 6, I believe, which is 123. Right, let me double check that, but if this is because we can't figure it out if it's 165, it has to be 234 and 9, right? Because 1 is eliminated. The least now you have is 2 plus 3 plus 4, which would be 9. If it's 495, then it can't be 9. It can't be 8 because it would have to only be 1, 3, and 4 because 5 is out already. So it can't be 134, can't be 125. If it's 7, it can't be 124 because we already have the 4 here. And so therefore it has to be 123, and so it's 6 or 9. So this is 7, 8 either way. So we know this has to be 1, 9 or 4, 6, which means this cannot be 1 or 4, which means this can't be 2 or 3, which means this has to be 2 or 3, right? Because it's either 2, 3, 4, or it's 1, 2, 3. And in that case, then this cannot be 2 or 3. This can't be 2 or 3. So this has to be either 4 through 7, 5 through 8, or 6 through 9, because it cannot contain a 2 or 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But we know this is low. So this has to be low also. This is low. So this cannot be low. And this can't be low. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So this is low. These are both high. We know 1 through 4 is here. This cannot contain 2 or 3. So it's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we got 3 numbers here. Oh. Well, no, we don't know anything about that. I was going to say that if this is high, then yeah, it still doesn't, we don't know anything about that. Okay, so this cannot be 2 and 3. So this cannot be 1 or 4. It could be 2, 3, 5, 6, or 9. Okay. So I think the other 1 or 9 has to be in the middle, right? Because it has to be next to the 4 or 6 that it's next to, right? And then the 4 and 6 cannot even be in between. So if the 1 or 9 were on the outside, the 4 or 6 would have to be in between, which is not possible. So we know 1 and 9 are the outside. Okay, so this is a Renban. So this is 6 and 7, right? Because it's either 4 through 7, 5 through 8, or 6 through 9, which all contain 6 and 7. So this cannot be 6 because it sees all 4 of these. So therefore, this can't be 4. This is 5 through 9, which means you can have at lowest 2 on the Renban. We don't know which that is, but yeah. We don't know which one's high, which one's low. This is one of each. That doesn't tell us anything. So this could have a 2 or 3. That's possible. Okay, well, that could be 1, 4. This would be 2, 3 if that's the case. For this being 5. Okay. So one of these, so these are opposites essentially too, right? So say this was like medium gray. This would have to be dark gray, then this would be dark gray, and this would be light gray. Which doesn't really tell us much. We just know this can't be 1 or 9, so this is 2 through 8. Hmm. Huh. Hmm. Oh, hold up. If this is 6, this has to be 9, which makes that 2, 3, 4. So this would have to be 1, 9. If this is 6, this cannot be 4, 6. So if this is 6, and we know the 6 has to be on this Renban line. So if this is 6, this has to be 9, which makes that 2, 3, 4. So this becomes 1, 9. If this is 6, this cannot be 4, 6, and it becomes 1, 9. So either way, this is 1, 9. So this is 1, 9. This has to be 4. This is 9. So this is 1, and we have a 4 and a 6 along with it. So we know this is low now. And this one of these is high. So this cannot be 1, but the 9 is somewhere here. This can't be 9. This can't be 9. This can't be 9. That can't be 9. So these can't be 8. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. This can't be 9. So we know the 4 is on the outside somewhere. We don't know which, though. So this cannot be 1, 9. It could be 4, 6. It could be 2, 3, 7, or 8. So this cannot be 2 or 3 specifically, so this can't be 7 or 8. Oh, interesting. Okay. So either this is 6, in which case this would be 1, or this is 2, 3, or 4, which makes this 7, 8, or 9. It can't be 9. Okay, so this can't be 4, so this can't be 6. Because this is the German whisper line. Let's remove the coloring, because we know the specific digits here. So this can't be 4 anymore, because it has to be with a 9 if it were. And we know this is 1, 9. Okay, so this can't be 9, which means this is also 1 through 7. So the 9 has to be in one of these 4 things. This can't be 7. If this is 1, 7, this would have to be 8, but that removes all possibilities there. So this cannot be 7. I don't really know what that tells us. Okay, this has to be 1, because that can't be 1. This can't be 1, so this has to be 1. So that 4, that's 9. This is 1, which forces this to be the 9. Okay, so now we have this coloring down. So we know this is a low. So this has to be 2, I believe, right? Well, we know 9 can't be in there anymore, so 3 cannot be in the middle. So this has to be 2, which means it's 2 and 7, 8. And this now is 3 and 4. So this can't be 2. This can't be 3. This can't be 4. So we know this is a 5, 6, 7, 8 pair or set. This can't be 4, so this can't be 6. So we know now, no, this is high. So this is high. This is low. This is high. So this is high. These 3 are low, and we have this is high, and this is high. I don't know if we really need this information. No 2. Okay, if this is 3, 8, 3, 7, this is 8, right? So there's no 7 or 8 here. Okay, so this is 5 or 6. Interesting. If this is 5, one of these has to be 2 and 3, and that's not possible. Therefore, this has to be 6. So we know this is 1, 2, 4, 5. This is also 1, 2, 4, 5. Therefore, there cannot be 2. There cannot be 2, 4, or 5 here, or 6. So this can no longer be 2, 3. So this can't be, this could be still 3. 3 is still possible here. It can't be 2 anymore, because 2 would require a 3 and a 4, and this could be only 4 there, right? So this is 3, 7, 8, 9 also. Right. So this becomes 1 through 5. This is 1 through 5, but it can't be 2 or 3. Therefore, 3 has to be one of these 2, which means this can't be 3. So we know 4 is here also. And we have 1 of 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it can't be 7 or 8. So 1 of 7 or 8's here. 1 of 7 or 8's here. We don't know which, though. 1 of 5 or 6 is here. 1 of 5 or 6 is here. Okay. This can't be 6. Hmm. Okay. So one of seven or eight is here. One of seven or eight is here. If this were three, this has to be four. So then this would have to be six. Uh, no, that doesn't work. Okay, three does not work. Right. Three needs four, five, and six to be with it. The problem is none of these can be four, five, or six. So this cannot be three. So this has to have seven, eight, or nine. But the problem is, so this cannot be four then. If this is four, we need five, six, and seven. But this can't be five, six, or seven. It has to have two of at least seven or eight. So this can't be four either. Right? Okay. So at least seven is there. It could be eight and nine, and this would be six, seven, six, seven. Um. Okay, hold up. There has to be a six here. This is six, seven, eight, nine at most, but it could also be five, six, seven, eight. Either way, this is six or this is six because neither of these can be six. So this cannot be six. Therefore, this is seven or eight. Therefore, we know one of seven or eight is here because this has to be seven or eight. So this can only be one of seven or eight. Therefore, the other seven or eight, and on top of that, we know this one matches this. Actually, that doesn't help. It's the other one that we given. So this is seven or eight. This is only one of seven or eight. Actually, it has to be specifically one of seven or eight. So the other seven or eight has to be here. This cannot be seven or eight. This is five or six. Okay, so interestingly enough, we have a lot of seven or eight. So let's remove a lot of this coloring so that we can just figure out what we're dealing with. Because the coloring is not as useful anymore. So this is five or six, which means that has to be five or six, or it could be one of the continuations of seven, eight, or nine. And if it's a continuation of seven, eight, or nine, that has to be three. But anyways, we have that color. So let's just make that, I don't know, green. And then this will make it yellow, I guess. This has to be yellow for the seven or eight. This has to be green for the seven or eight, which makes that yellow. So then the yellow has to be one of these three, right? We also know the yellow has to be there, right? This is either 5, 6, 7, 8 or 6, 7, 8, 9. The yellow has to be in this one. So this has to be yellow. Because it can't be here, it can't be here. So it has to be on there. Now for green, green could be any of these because green has to be either here or one of these two. Oh, interesting. Right? Because green also has to be on the line. Because it's 6 through 9 or 5 through 8. Either way, you have both 7s and 8s there. Therefore, one of these three has to be a 7 or 8, the green 7 or 8. But this one sees all 7s or 8s, so this cannot be 7 or 8. So green could be here or here. We don't know which. Whatever the 5 or 6 is, so say this is orange, right? So this has to be the pink one along. So this has to be the orange one, which means the pink one has to be here, which means this is orange and this has to be the pink one. And then they're both along this line, right? So this has to be the orange one. This has to be the pink one. We don't know. So this cannot be orange. So the orange could be any of these, whatever. Or the oranges, yeah, we don't know. We just don't know. So this cannot be orange. So orange could be here or here. right? So this could be orange only if it's 5. Huh. Okay, we have 2 or 3. Hmm. If this is 9, this has to be 7, 8, and 7, 8. So this would be green. This could not be green. So green would have to be one of those 4. The pink could be any of these. We don't know which. The pink could be any of these and these. This cannot be pink, obviously. Hold up. Can this ever be 4? I don't think this can ever be 4, right? If this is 4, it has to be with 5. It can't be with 1 because that can't add up to 5. So this can never be 4. So this has to be 1 here, which means this can't be 1. So we know this is 1. So it's 1 with 6 or 7. It cannot be 5, right? If this is what, yeah. If this is 1 and 6, this is 7. If this is 1 and 7, this is 8. So this could be 1, 7. It could be 2, 6, or 2, 1, 6, 1, 7. 2, 6, 2, 5, but it cannot be 4. So this cannot be 4. So it's 1, 7, 1, 6. Okay, hold up. If this is 2, this has to be 3 and 8, which makes this 8. So this would have to be 2 and 6. So it can never be 1 and 5, or 2 and 5. And 1 and 5 doesn't work because this is 7 or 8. So this has to be... I forgot how we... Oh, it can't be 6. I forgot how we eliminated the 6 here, but we did. Oh, because this can't be 6, right? One of these has to be 6. So that can't be 6. Yeah. So that has to be 7, 8, which makes that 7 and 8. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this can never be 5. This has to be 6 or 7 also, right? Yes, this has to be 6 or 7 also. Because 1, 5 doesn't work because it can't add up to 6. 2, 5 doesn't work because if this is 2, this becomes 3. That's 7. This is 8. And so therefore this is 8. So this 2 and 5 do not add up to 8. So this has to be 1 7, 2 1 6, or 2 6. And those are the only possibilities. If this is 2 6, this is 8. This has to be 6. This would have to be 1 7 then. This cannot be 1 7 and 1 7 though. If this is 1 7 and this is 1 7, that eliminates 7 from all of these. And we know there's a 7 on this Renban line. Therefore, this specifically cannot be 1 7. So we know the 6 is here. So this cannot be 6. This cannot be 6. So we know this is 6. It could be 1 6 or it could be 1 7. Oh, but it can't be 1 6. If this is 1 6, this has to be 1 6 also, which eliminates 6 from all of these. And also, in addition, this has to be 6. So this can't be 6. This is 5, which means this can't be 5. So this has to be the 6. So this is 6. This can't be 6. This can't be 6. This can't be 5. So this is 5. So therefore, we know this is 1 7, which makes this 8. So this can't be 8. This can't be 7. This has to be 2 and 6. So this can't be 2. This is 3. This is 9. This has to be 8 and 7. So this is 5. So this is 2. This has to be 8. This is 5 and 7. So this is 7. This is 3. This is 8. This cannot be 3 or 5. It cannot be 2. So this is 1 or 4. This cannot be 5. Cannot be 2. Cannot be 4. Cannot be 5. Cannot be 1. So this is 3, which makes that 2, which makes that 3. This can't be 2, so this can't be 4. So this is 1 or 4. This is 1 or 4. So this has to be 2 or 5, which means this has to be 5, which makes this 2, 4, 1, 5. This is 1. This is 4. This is 1. So this can't be 3 anymore. This can't be 8, so this can't be 2. This can't be 1, so that can't be 9. This can't be 8. This can't be 5. No 6 or 8. No 3, 4, 7. No 3 or 5. No 7. So this is 3, 4, 5. This is 3, 4, 5. This can't be 3, 4, 5. This cannot be 4, 6. If this is 4, 6, we have 3 other digits that must be between 3 and 6. And that's not possible. So this cannot be 4, 6. This could be 3, 7. And it could be 1, 9. This can't be 5 anymore. So if it's 7, this is 1, 2. It could be 6 and 9 also. So this is 1, 2, or 6 and 9. This is 3, 4, and 9. No, it can't be 3. 4, 7, and 9. Okay, let's get all the coloring off because we've used those colors well. Okay. So if this is 1, this becomes 6, 9. If this is 3, it can't be 3. If it's 3, it doesn't work because 6, there's no 5, 7, or 8 possible. So it would have to be either 6 or 9, and 3 is not the same, 4 away from either of for 6. So this has to be 3 or 9. This is 1 or 7. So either way, if this is 7, this is 1. If this is 1, obviously it sees 1. So this cannot be 1. So this is 2 or 3. So here we have, what, 4, 5, 8, and 9. So this can't be 5. This can't be 4. 4, 5, 8, and 9. This cannot be 1. This could be 1, though. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. No 7. No 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. So no 1 here. Oh, this cannot be. This is 3 or 4, so this has to be 6 or 7. We have a 10 here. We don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. Where can the 2 be in this column? 2 cannot be here. 2 cannot be here because of the 2, 8. 2 cannot be here because this is only 3, 4 possible. Therefore, this has to be 2. Therefore, this cannot be 2. So this has to be 6 and 9, which makes this 1. So this is 9. This cannot be 9, so we know this is 2. So this has to be 3, which makes that 1, 6, 3. This cannot be 3 or 6, so this is 2 or 4. This becomes 7. This is 1. So this has to be 7 then. This is 6. This is 4. This becomes 3 and 4. This is 5 and 6. This is 8 and 7. This cannot be 9. This cannot be 8. This cannot be 6 or 7. So this is 3, 5, 3. This becomes no 5 or 6. This can't be 3. This can't be 7. So we have 1 can only be here. So this is 1. 2 now can only be one of these 2. That's still valid. 3s, what about 3s? 3s are all taken care of. 4s. 4s are kind of all taken care of also. 5. 5 can be here, here. It cannot be here, so this is 5. Okay, so there we go. This is 7, this is 5. This can't be 7. Okay. So that's 5s are kind of all taken care of. 6s can be here, and 6 has to be here. So this is 6. So this becomes 2, 4, 7, 8. Can't be 4, so it's 2, 7, 8. This can't be 7, this can't be 8. Okay, this becomes 2, 7, 8. Okay, so that makes that easy. So this is 8, this becomes 2, this is 7, this is 4, this is 8, 2, 7, this is 6, 2, 5, 9, 2, 5, 4, 2, 6, 9, 8, 4, 9, 4, 7, 8, and this is 9. And that's a solution. Not too bad. Again, like the title suggests, it is a medley, so you just have to be able to understand what the implications are for each different type of clue. So, for example, you have the implication of this, where you know the German whisper eliminates the 5 from everywhere. That could be on the German whisper, so that forces the Dutch whisper to have the 5. But then you have the implication for where the 4 and the 6 could be and what the 1 and the 9 could be, which mixed with the arrows allows you to figure out what that is. And then you have the X's and the V's, which limit those. And then you have the Renban, which and the limitations are those. So yeah, this was it's very well put together. Each one having its own little sort of contribution to the restriction of where the digits could be. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.